All right. Well, it's nice to meet you, May.
Very nice to meet you. Sorry about last time. I had a last minute family emergency come up and I was just like, oh my God, I hope it's okay. So I'm glad we were able to reschedule.
Oh yeah, no worries. I keep it pretty casual over here. So
Awesome. So where are you calling in from?
I'm in Utah.
Oh, okay, very cool. I've been
Yeah.
to Salt Lake a couple times.
Okay. How was it?
I went for work, so it was a very short trip. But it was nice. We do a lot of, I'm in Dallas. So during COVID, it was a lot of cabins and more of the quiet areas. So love the mountains and stuff like that. So
All right on. That's cool. So you
yeah,
said you're in Dallas?
yes.
How hot is it over there right now?
Oh my God, it's insane. It's 100, usually about 105 to 110, but feels like 120. So it's like even AC can't keep up with like the heat outside. So
Oh geez. Yeah, we're getting like 95, but it's not too, it's not too bad compared to where you are. So
yeah, flat land, dry air. So
So to give you some context, I keep these conversations kind of casual. I'm just kind of starting out with this podcast thing. And what I've been doing lately is interviewing people that are experts in Metaverse, NFTs, or blockchain-based businesses. And this comes from a perspective of me and DeFi, and then interviewing funds that were in DeFi, and then they were leaving DeFi. And I was like, well, where are you guys going? Like, what's the next play? And they were talking about NFTs and Metaverse. And so that kind of took me down the other rabbit hole.
yeah, I think to be honest, metaverse, it's a mix of the DeFi space and all spaces combined. So what we're creating is I'm not going to say a hodgepodge, but we're able to find solution in various areas and integrate it with Web3 into a metaverse to provide that that virtual, augmented, the entire immersive content feeling. But even going into the future, when you really think about scaling and accessibility, it's still going to be pretty much in 2D form, I think, more widely used as people are getting into crypto, into the entire digital currency world to begin with. So do I really think people in the future are going to sit there and spend their entire time working, living in a virtual world with VR headsets on? Probably not. So we have to make it where it's that immersive experience, but at the same time you have real world use cases attached to it. So if you want that immersive experience, great, you're able to have that. But at the same time, you're still able to access it through your phone and through various other forms.
So you're working on a project, and I did a little bit of homework on you, but I don't want to steal your thunder. Tell me a little bit about this project you have going on with this financial district and Metaverse. When I heard that, I was kind of like, what? And then I had to look you up on Meta Money, J Chain's interview that you
Yeah.
did. But I want to know more. Give us the breakdown.
So what we're creating is a decentralized financial district in the metaverse. And the idea and the goal is to be able to provide accessibility of resources and technology globally in a very simplified way, in a simple format. So of course we're going to have real estate there, businesses can have locations there, but the goal is to be able to empower individuals to create their own financial ecosystem. So the way they do that is for any individual, poverty, regardless of where you live, varies from each individual to each individual, right? So there's the global poverty level, and of course the income level where you live. But even for people like within our neighborhood, or you go outside the neighborhood, it depends on where you live and the accessibility to the resources you're able to provide. So it all starts, we truly believe in education, financial education, simplifying processes, and to be able to understand what digital currency really is. And that kind of ties into the entire Web3 metaverse ecosystem. So what we're doing is creating a platform where individuals can come in, be able to learn a skill set, develop a skill set, and then earn at the same time, of course, learn to earn platform, and be able to also receive financial education on what to do with that digital currency or NFT and with that money. And then at the same time, with the skill set that you've developed, you can actually become an entrepreneur and be able to sell your services in form of NFT and understand that. And you're learning as you're going from all of the vast amount of resources that'll be available. Or if you don't want to become an entrepreneur and work for yourself, you can work remotely for any of the businesses that would be located there. At the same time, individuals can invest when it comes to real estate. We'll tie it into real world use cases as well. But it's that same idea of paying it forward. So there's an entire social impact piece behind it. We're implementing live language translation. Currently, we're up to 60 languages embedded into our platform. And the goal is for an individual like yourself, let's say you're an expert in marketing. So you can teach another individual halfway across the world, let's say in Africa or within Southeast Asia. And that person, as they're learning, they're also earning. And as they level up, they receive a certification to certify that they've become an expert in that field or in that whatever work set that is, and they receive it as an NFT. And then our first deliverable is a AI cross-chain NFT marketplace. So then they can go into the marketplace and be able to create their own skill set. So it could be various marketing services, kind of like Upworks or Fiverr, where you can actually, but they can create they can, of course, via smart contracts, create their own revenue stream and how they want to monetize, and then be able to sell it. And of course, the purchase, anyone that mints or purchases the services, of course, those utilities of the NFTs are tied into our business district as well. So people could mint it and you get these services. NFTs work as digital receipts almost, but then those NFTs could be traded in for either MBD tokens or other things. And then the person that's teaching the skill set is also earning what you call karma tokens. And those karma tokens are basically is worth the same as MBD tokens. So same value as our tokens. And then of course you can invest into it. And the more karma you have, the more access that you have to several other features. So you're incentivized for teaching others and helping others develop a skill set. So it's paying it forward, but at the same time, you're also earning as you pay it forward.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to figure out like what the user interface on this would look like. Because I mean, coming from DeFi where it's just, a screen and you're just using your wallet and you're connecting it and then you're doing a trade or adding liquidity or something like that. It's, not as dynamic as say something you do in a metaverse or a metaverse like Decentraland, where you're running around looking at like the JP Morgan lounge and the art on the wall, or, so like, what would that give me an idea of what that would look like then in the user interface, like the visual?
Yeah, let me actually show you something. So we're building it on all on Unreal Engine 5, and of course utilizing metahumans as form of avatars. Let me show you an example. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Sure, I just enabled screen share.
that's a little of the photorealism that we're looking at.
Oh, how fun. So hypothetically, maybe this isn't hypothetical, maybe this is already an application. Someone could go into your Metaverse financial district and say, I want to play, or I want to do some DeFi over here. And you could have maybe a DeFi real engine chatbot type of thing, right? So like a real engine person, AI chatbot that's basically like, okay, let me help you with this, or like you're staking or something like that. I mean, it could be AI, it could be a real person too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're envisioning and what we're creating is there will be an entire DeFi. It's almost like the financial hubs of the world. So you go down a block and it's like Wall Street. So you go into almost like the NASDAQ Center and you walk in and there's financial solutions, various financial solutions. So you'll be able to have, and we don't envision not having conventional traditional bank systems there as well. Of course, we're a DeFi platform and it has to align with our values, but one of the ways that will scale, especially getting into integrating with countries, is developed countries where we do have to partner with a initial bank that's there. But I think even conventional, traditional TradeFi banking services are looking into how to get into the DeFi industry, or how to provide, how to partner, or what else can we do to enter this industry as a whole. So those are some of the partnerships that we're looking at, and not just to have just our solutions, because that will hinder, and I think that there'll be a huge barrier to entry in markets, in traditional markets that we want to get into. So it's integration with other projects and other solutions that's out there. So an individual walks in, they're able to see, okay, this is what I want to achieve. This is the problem I'm trying to solve. And these are all of the options that I have based off of, how can I get there? And those resources are provided based off of your level of understanding. So if you're new to crypto and you want to make 100x, it's not going to give you, okay, this is what Bitcoin is, and this is how you mine, and this is what you need to have. I think that's where a lot of individuals get really overwhelmed. It's like staking, farming, yield, trading, even the vocabulary in itself is hard to kind of understand, and it's changing on a regular basis. So with AI integration, a lot of the learning material will be simplified based off of individual's level of understanding. So you're getting solutions based off of your understanding and what you can use, and you're leveling up even in the investment pieces. So people can actually pick and choose what type of services that they want, whether they want it a la carte or they want to have like this complex solution, because this is what's needed. So a lot of, even there's a project that I'm speaking with where they offer AI services in regards to individuals that are in the asset management organizations. So high APY, as well as very complex information, but day traders, they understand a lot of those details. And I feel like they should have access to certain bots and certain information. So we're looking at how can we really bring it to a consumer market where individuals can have, if they choose to, they can have access to that information to trade better and have everything readily available to them. So it's a lot of integration of various services.
I was just thinking of partnerships. I mean, so there's like, you have CeFi, and then you have like DeFi, and then you have something in the middle, which is your DeFi banks, which are still traditional banks. They custody your funds like BlockFi or Celsius or Nexo, those types of CeFi plays. But I could imagine then those CeFi companies that are partial DeFi wanting to have a presence in your Metaverse district, or your Metaverse financial district, so that people could walk in. Maybe there's a lounge, like kind of like with the Decentraland JP Morgan lounge. I'm like looking around. There's no one there to talk to, by the way. But the JP Morgan lounge, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, it was like kind of cool, I guess, and you can watch a few videos, and the furniture is just kind of like, but it's Decentraland. It's not super realistic yet. But if you're using Real Engine 5 and then someone wants to walk into like a BlockFi type of room or something like that, and maybe there's a couple BlockFi associates that are for real, like somewhere, sitting there with their chat bots, and someone, wants to talk to them, and then they get a notification and they start talking to them or something. Oh yeah, let me help you with blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
be really interesting. And you could gamify this thing too,
Absolutely. And the goal is to be able to network and connect with others at the same time. So a lot of the content, we're even looking at implementing 3D VR cameras to have that interaction, individual, like personal chats. So you're in the space with that other individual. And that's one of the reasons we are going to be working with MetaHumans, because no one really wants to have a financial conversation with a dragon. Or not know who the other person that you're dealing with is on the other end. And plus, we're able to do a lot of other things, integrate KYC. So it's almost like when Face ID and they implemented with Bank of America, and now you're able to, with a touch of your phone and Face ID, you're able to log into your accounts and have that KYC added. So very similar to that, where your avatar becomes the solution to everything. It's kind of your wallet. Your wallet is attached to your avatar, and that provides KYC for anything else that's out there.
Wow, that would be kind of cool, because I guess that would make sense, because you could have in your hot wallet or your cold wallet, you could have your NFT with your ID credentials, and if that makes sense, right? Your driver's license type of stuff, your passport or whatever. Huh. So
the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, it seems like there's just, there's opportunity up the wazoo for people that are creatives to come in and start developing something really neat on your platform. So where are you at, like, on your roadmap, in terms of how far along you are, and then what's the next step?
Yeah, so we have been self-funded completely between my co-founder and I. So we have developed a lot of the foundational base of the project. We launched our token about a month and a couple of weeks ago. So we are on two separate large exchanges, one being Bitrue is the very first exchange that we launched on. And of course, they're trading over 2 billion a day. So we wanted to ensure it was some of the larger exchanges. We're also a governance token, because we want to involve the community into it, voting rights, for a lot of upcoming projects and implementations, and giving those rights, as well as business owners are able to come in and open a location. So we want every individual to have a say in a lot that's going to happen. So our very first platform that we're launching is our cross-chain NFT marketplace. And we are looking at an end of August launch with that, with several partnerships in place with that we're working on as well. And it's going to be quite unique, because the goal is to be able to, it's morphing the past and the present into a new form of e-commerce. So not just for individuals that are looking to monetize and develop their skill set and be able to create these services, but it's also a lot of traditional brick and mortar organization. And I have a brick and mortar background. So a lot of the individuals that are reaching out to me, a lot of really good contacts, they're like, May, you're in the Web3 space. How do we get in? And as I continue to just have these conversations and just telling them about what I've noticed is that they see it as a huge investment, organizational structure change, and creating an entire department that focuses research and development, all of this that goes into it. So what we decided to do is create an entire a Web3 integration service. So what we do is, when we onboard a organization, we do all of the heavy lifting. We only work with their design team and their e-commerce team and their marketing team. So our project manager actually helps them develop, create digital twins of the products that they want to sell, create a new revenue model that's almost like an e-commerce, and they're able to launch it on our platform, and we co-market. So one, it helps us with the marketing too, right? Because this is a new service that they're going to launch, and that way we're able to get into basically a vast amount of industries in a very short amount of time. And the fact that if you think about it for retailers, it's like the next product launch. If they're able to DeFi and create it in a governance way, their consumers are telling them what's going to work and what's not going to work. So they're able to have their consumers be a part of that voting. We're able to create within our district tokens to attach to our MBD tokens for their users to create. It's almost like the way I see NFTs and tokens and what Web3 is, I explain it this way. It's like when you go to Kroger or even Shell, all it is a reward system. It's a point system, and it's incentivized by utilities or a token that actually has real world value. Well, that has real world value too. Why do you keep going into Shell and putting your phone number in where they can collect the data? It's so you get your points and you get 10 cents off after you hit a certain amount of points. So it's that same concept. Why would people keep continuing to come back and purchase these products? Well, it's taking their current reward structure and we're tokenizing it, or we're creating it into a NFT model with a entire utilities, which is their reward base. And we're able to combine it onto ours. So it's an easy transition when you actually put it that way. And one, it's going to help not only build revenue, it's going to cut operational costs and cut these like seasonal large inventory issues that they have. So that's the first thing that we're doing. We were also chosen as one of the projects to partner with a United Nations Sustainable Development 2030 project. So what they're doing is developing anywhere between 10 to 20 smart cities across 5 different continents in the next 10 years. So what we proposed, and it's called Peace City World, and they're also part of the social impact that we have. I do a lot of education, especially within Southeast Asia and Africa for children and women. So that's how I got into this platform to begin with. It's like, as far as microlending services, how can we really help support, become a disruptor to inherited poverty, basically, and be able to give people that, you always think about how, if I could just catch a break, right? I just need a break. Like I do that almost all the time initially as a startup. It's like, God, I've been grinding at this. I know I have such a good product. I just need to catch a break. So it's giving that individual that break. They couldn't afford education. Here, teach yourself, learn a skill set, and break out of that cycle. So that United Nations project matched really well with us. And I kind of started talking to the initial founder about their board. How about creating a digital twin that connects via a portal within our business district? Now it scales it globally. And those individuals that are creating these products and selling it locally to businesses, now they can create their own e-commerce and be able to scale and sell globally. People could invest into those cities. So we're going to be working with them in creating these real estate NFTs and growing these smart cities.
So we got a couple minutes left on the clock before my next appointment, but I want to ask you, someone that is new to the space, but has a skill that they want to develop and like develop it here somewhere in the Web3 space, what would your advice be to them and also to attract them into your platform?
Absolutely. One thing is start simple and relate it to what the current uses are. A lot of hard terms are used, but it all relates to something that's currently being utilized anyway. And connect with individuals there. There's so many people that are learning as they're going. I did not go to school for Web3 or Metaverse, but every day I spend anywhere between 2 to 3 hours a day just learning the industry and what other people are doing. It's a very innovative space, and the possibilities are endless, how you could really connect it to real current use cases in the market. So there's so many ways to monetize on this. And our platform is going to be one of the ones where we don't take a huge chunk of it. It's for the people, by the people. It's giving majority of it back to the creators and the users.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you coming on, May.
Of course.
Let's connect again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and thank you for rescheduling it again. I appreciate it.
You bet.